everybody, my name is Zombie HJU, and today is just another fucking outrage video. Just for fun. Excuse me while I blow my nose. Yeah, today is another outraging video. So, what is this outraging video about? Well, if you guys watch my other videos about my unsupported family, you probably guessed what this video is about. Driver's license test! Where the fuck is it? Literally! My fucking cousin Ethan, me and my cousin Ethan, we're the same age, we're in the same grade, and yet he has a fucking month until he can get his driver's license. A month! A fucking month! Until he gets his driver's license test. What about me, nigga? I haven't even touched the test. I haven't even looked at it. Because I don't know where it is. It's not on my fucking phone. It's either on my mom's phone or her computer. Bruh. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Literally, I need fucking help. Like, this is ridiculous. My cousin Ethan has like a month until he gets his license. I think he has his permit already. I don't know. I think he has to get his permit. He might already have his permit. I don't know. But all I heard from him, all my cousin Ethan has told me, that he told me that he has a month until he can drive me everywhere to like the lake. Or stuff like that. That's all he told me. And I'm like, yeah, great. And you know what? I'm gonna get my license in 100 years. Yeah, take that. You might get your license tomorrow, but I'm gonna get my license in 10 years. Yeah, take that. Shove that up your butt. Yeah, take that. I win. Just like, bruh, just kill me. Let me start over. Just kill me and let me start over. I need a new life. Just kill me and let me start over, because this is ridiculous. Let me get reborn. Let me come out of someone's vagina in a different family. A better family. With a 1983 truck that will work. With an ATV that will actually work. With a go-kart that will actually work, you know? Just give it just end me already. Like, goodness gracious, this is fucking retarded. And nigga, I can fucking drive. Sure that my legs are a little wobbly while I'm doing it, but bruh, I drove my mom's white car. No. I drove my dad's truck for the very first time. I drove my dad's truck, I think it was 3 times. Well, I drove my dad's truck down our street like 3 times and parked it. The 4th time was in my dad's truck, but it was in reverse. I had to move it to the other driveway. So that was 4 times in my dad's truck until it broke. And then my mom let me drive her car all the way out to my cousin's. I mean, if you guys know what Big Spring looks like, but if you go near that old doggy place, where they would get haircuts and get their claws cut, over there near the highway, near that deep upwards highway place. Where that freaking water plant is, where that place where all the big water tubes are, that place. She let me start right there. She stopped. She pulled in. She went a little forward, and she pulled in near that. There's a place where they keep all the school buses stored. She parked it there, and then I took it all the way out to my cousin's. Like, I drove it like it's a mile from there to their house. Maybe a mile. Well, maybe 6 miles. Nah. Nah. It's like, I think it was 2.5 miles to their house, just from that little place right there. Maybe, 1.5, 2.5 miles. So that was pretty good. And I did that like, I drove from that place. Well, the first time, well, if you go down that road, like all the way, eventually you run into a four-way intersection with a stop sign. So the first time she let me drive from right there at that four-way intersection, I took it so that was less than. That was technically less, but. And then the second time, I started from that place, from that school bus place, and took it. So that was technically 2 times in my mom's car. And I think at one point, I drove my mom's car down from our road and parked it in their driveway. So let's see here. So technically, I drove like 7 times without taking the driver's license test. I mean, that's how good I am. I just popped in and took off. That's it. I can take off easily now. Yeah, I drove like 7 times. I drove 7 times without taking the test, without doing any of that shit. Just that just shows just how good I am. So I drove like, and the seventh time was at the racetrack in Abilene. I drove my dad's truck because we went down the pits to pick up a gas jug, but instead of putting the gas jug in the back of the bed, the, the dude, my dad drove this other dude's go-kart, and the owner of the go-kart just put the gas on a dolly, or put the racing fuel on a dolly, and just slowly haul it up there. And I was like, hey, I could just drive your truck back to the trailer. So I did. I did that. So that was the 7 of 10. So technically, yeah, drove 7 times. I mean, yeah, my cousin drove more than I did. He said he went to from his house to Midland or some other place, and then he went back. So technically Ethan drove more than me. My cousin Ethan's father would let him drive around town. So technically he drove more than me, but I'm actually ain't half that bad, and yet I haven't even took the fucking driver's license test. So if you guys are familiar with my projects, I have some bad news. Yeah, I know, more bad news. You guys won't believe it. Guess what happened? I took the four-wheeler out for a ride today. Make sure the brakes worked. They did work. So the brakes worked, blah, 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 blah. And eventually, I actually went up the road.
Press T, return.
Shut up, game. I didn't just drive down the street and turn around. I did that 2 times, and then the third attempt, I actually went up. I actually went on it was not the main road, but it's a really long road that separates yes, it's just a really long road. It goes all the way up the mountain, and eventually it turns around. I went up there. I went on that road. I didn't go all the way. I probably went about like halfway on the forward. Then I turned around. And basically, what happened was the gas tank. I remember the original gas tank on the four-wheeler. Remember I said it was leaking like crazy? Well, I filled up with water today and it was still leaking. I plugged up the exit for the fuel and all I did was filled it up with water. So I plugged up that hole up with the screw, filled it up with water. Surely enough, it was leaking. Slowly leaking. I mean, it wasn't like slowly leaking. It would leak every 1 second. It's around that gas exit nozzle. It's around there. It's around there is where it's leaking, and so it's leaking around there, and just like, yeah, that's basically what happened. But what actually happened was the gas tank that I was using, I couldn't get it to fit. Most of the time, most of the time of me being out there was me trying to get that gas tank to work. Turning it around, changing the directions, tying it down, trying to get it to work. Eventually, I had flow, eventually after kept messing with it, I had fuel flow, and then all of a sudden, I lost fuel flow for some odd reason. Like it was at the same angle, but the fuel just wasn't coming out. And when I took the gas tank off of the four-wheeler, when I disconnected it from the hose, it began to flow. Like the gas tank had a nozzle, a turn off and on nozzle. So you can turn it off and on, so you can block it or open up the valve, or basically it has a valve that you can open and close. And the valve is crystal clear, it's not stopped up, it's clear. And it's just like, when I hook it up to the hose, gas doesn't come out. But when I take the gas tank off the hose, it flowed. It just poured out of the hose is now. I'm sure you guys are wondering. Well, the hose is probably clogged up, and I'm like, no. And the answer is no. The hose is not clogged up. It's crystal clear. It's clear. It's crystal clear. You can see through it. The hose is it's a crystal clear air hose. I think it went to an air gun, so it's crystal clear. And just when I put the gas tank on the four-wheeler at the exact same angle, it just didn't flow. Fuel just didn't come out. But when I took the gas tank off, and I hold it up in midair, and at the same angle, and I opened the valve, the gas just poured out. So it would pour out when I hold it. You basically, when it was on the four-wheeler, the fuel just wasn't coming out for some reason. Even though the hose was crystal clear. Yeah, see, basically, when the gas tank was on the four-wheeler, it didn't come out. But when I took the gas tank off of the four-wheeler and I hold it up in midair at the same angle, fuel came out. And I'm just like, this is some demonic paranormal shit. I'm out. I'm done. I'm not going to mess with this four-wheeler today. I've had enough. I'm just going to go inside, take a break, and just try again some other time. So, just like... Now, the gas tank, I can't just buy a new gas tank. I looked it up on my phone, like eBay most likely, and got nothing. I mean, I did find a gas tank similar to it, but the gas tank that I found on eBay, it's 23 centimeters by 19. And the original gas tank is not even 19 millimeters. I mean by length. So let's say this is the gas tank, okay? This way is 23, and this way is 19. But on the original, this way isn't 19. It's like 9 millimeters, and this way is 20 millimeters, or 19 most likely. So it's a very small gas tank, and I just couldn't find one. So I just texted my dad. If you don't find a proper gas tank for the four-wheeler, we can't take it to the race. He's like, okay. And now, I don't know what happened today. I was having fun, and all of a sudden, I wasn't having fun. It's because the shit kept breaking on me, and I fired up the go kart again. Trying to burn some of the oil because when I was trying to put the tire on, just a whole bunch of oil got in the cylinder, probably from being laid down. So I was just like cranking it over, and then the fucking go kart broke the fucking drill handle. The handle of the drill literally just broke in half. I'm like, what? So I taped it back together and I got it to start burning off some of that oil and just like. Today just wasn't a very good day, guys. It's just like. I'm sad. I'm sad, you guys. I'm so sad. Oh, where am I? Oh, over here. Messing with the terrain. Wait, there should be a cross around here. Oh, there it is. See, I'm sad and upset. When I'm upset, I eat like crazy. Oh, well, technically here's another black sheep. So yeah, technically I found like. So I guess you could say I found like 8 to 9 black sheep in this world so far. It's pretty creepy. And here's the thing: if your dad is like, if you have a father that's like 58 years old, here's a tip for you: do not tell him anything about your projects. Like if you have a gas tank with a crack, and you're like, oh well, I better tell my dad that I can't take the four wheeler, or I can't take this, or I can't take my dirt bike because the gas tank has a hole. Do not tell your dad about. Just don't tell your father. Kind of like me. See look. The four wheeler. See look. I have to tell my dad that we can't take the four-wheeler because we don't have a gas tank for it. We don't have a proper gas tank for it. And see, this is why you don't want to tell them. The reason why you don't want to tell them that you can't take something, like if you guys were planning to take the dirt bike to the races so you can get up and back to the, so you can get to the pits faster, to the bathroom, you know. So if you guys were taking your dirt bike or your four-wheeler or go-kart to the races so you can get to the bathrooms quicker in the pits, if you guys have and if your four-wheeler or go-kart has a broken gas tank, do not tell your dad about it. Because if you do, all he's going to say is, "How come? How come we can't take it? Why can't we take it? You know, blah, 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 blah." You know, he's just going to talk like that, and it's just annoying. It makes him look stupid when he talks like that. "Oh, why can't we take it? Well, why can't we take it?" If you tell him, and if he responds, like if you tell him, and if he talks like, if he says, "Why can't we take it?" You know, if he talks like that, it's just annoying. It makes him look stupid. It makes him look like a fucking idiot. It makes him sound like a freaking idiot. You know, so if you tell your dad that you can't take something, or you can't take your go-kart or whatever, if you tell him that you can't take it, or if you tell him that you can't take your project, you shouldn't tell him, because if you do tell him, all he's gonna say is, "Why can't we take it?" That's why you can't tell him. Because if you tell him you can't take something, if you tell him you can't take your project to somewhere, you know, if you tell him you can't take something, you shouldn't tell him, because if you do tell him, his response is going to be, "Why can't we take it?" That's why you shouldn't tell him. So if you have a broken project, you shouldn't tell him about it, because if you do, he's just going to respond. Because if you do tell him, he's just going to say, "Well, why can't we take it?" He's just gonna say that, and it makes him sound like an idiot. It's just embarrassing. It makes him sound like a fucking idiot. And my dad is just like that. Like, if I haven't texted my dad if I haven't texted my father that the four-wheeler needs a new gas tank, like if I haven't told him that it needs if I haven't told him that it needs a new gas tank, and when he gets home, his reaction is gonna be like, if I haven't told him, and as soon as he comes home, and if if I didn't tell him on the phone, and when he gets home, and I tell him when he's and I tell him, and when he blah 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 blah. Sorry if I'm repeating, like, literally. But if I haven't told him on the phone, and when he gets home, or if I tell him when he gets home, his immediately reaction is gonna be, "What, kid?" Yeah, if he gets home, and I tell him we can't take the four-wheeler, his reaction is going to be, "Why can't we take it? Why can't we take the four-wheeler to the races? Why can't we take it?" That's like, if I didn't tell him on the phone, and as soon as he got home, and if I tell him, like, when he gets home, if I tell him when he gets home that we can't take the four-wheeler, his reaction's gonna be, "Why can't we take it?" It just makes them sound so fucking stupid. I'm sorry for the repeating, but I'm just so, like, my head is just, like, on fire right now. And I'm just like, I'm just I'm just so irritated right now. I'm just so absolutely irritated. I'm just like, I'm just like, I'm just gonna pass out. Like, I'm just so freaking irritated. Oh my goodness gracious, guys, I'm telling you. Never tell your dad about your projects. If you have a broken project, if you have a broken project, don't tell him about it. Because if you do, his reaction is going to be, why can't we take it to the races? Why can't we take it to the track? You know, why this? Why that? You know, it just makes him sound like an idiot. You know, just don't tell him. I mean, if you don't tell him, you'll never get the project fixed. Well, I mean, if you guys want to have, would you rather have a broken project forever, or tell them and deal with the fucking rage, or tell them and deal with the stress? Like, what would you guys choose? Tell him and deal with the stress, or don't tell him and have a broken project. To me, I think I'd rather tell him and go through the stress, because, to be honest, my projects have been fucking terrible. To be truthful, my projects have been absolutely terrible. They have been terrible, terrible, terrible. It is absolutely terrible. They have been horrible to me. My projects have been very rude and disrespectful. But I'm gonna end it right here for this video. I gotta let my head rest. I'm just so absolutely irritated right now. I have a headache. So if you're gonna tell your dad about your projects being broken, well, you're gonna have to deal with the stress. You're gonna have to deal with the stress, because once you tell him, he's gonna talk like a fucking retard. Oh, well, I found another brown sheep. I think I saw 2 of them. And I also saw a light gray sheep too. Just somewhere over there, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I gotta take a break. I can't right now. I just, I just, I have a fucking headache. So see you guys in the next one. Maybe my dad won't talk like a fucking idiot when he gets home. Maybe we can find a gas tank for it. See you guys in the next one.